One of my favorite scenes in the Gospels is when the resurrected Jesus grills fish for his disciples. So today, we're making salmon. I like fillets with the skin on because I like the crispy skin that this preparation gives you. But you can buy fillets without the skin if you prefer. Your skin-on fillet might have the scales removed already. Mine didn't, so I'm taking those off with the back end of a knife. I'm doing it over the butcher paper it came wrapped in, so I can easily throw it away when it's done. Doing this under cold running water is another great way to get rid of them easily, since they tend to stick to everything. In a medium bowl, stir together a 1/4 cup of the jam of your choice. I'm using blood orange here, apricot would also be great. 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and 1 clove of garlic minced. Brush the glaze on all sides of your salmon fillets, then season with salt and pepper and place them skin side down on a hot cast iron skillet or griddle. Cook for 4 to 5 minutes until the skin is crisp, then flip and cook for another minute or so to get a nice medium rare. Garnish with some scallions and enjoy this quick and easy dinner with some rice, maybe a side of roasted broccoli. For me, this salmon is perfectly done, but you can go a little longer if you don't like it as rare. In John 21, the epilogue to the book of John, Jesus appears to some of his disciples after his resurrection and shares a meal of fish. The events begin when Peter and some of the disciples decide to go fishing, but they go all night without catching anything. Then, in the morning, Jesus calls to them from shore. They don't know it's Jesus yet, and he tells them to fish on the right side of the boat. They do, and suddenly they catch so many fish that they can't even haul in the nets. At that point, they realize that it's Jesus on the shore. This probably reminded the disciples of the events of Luke 5, when Jesus called some of them who were fishermen to follow him and become fishers of men. At that time, they started catching so many fish after Jesus' instructions that their nets were breaking and the boats were sinking. Here at the end of John, Jesus may be reminding the disciples of that calling, with the net full of fish representing the many that these disciples will bring to Christ as they carry out their mission. With the sea sometimes representing the nations, maybe this catch of fish represents the multitude from many nations that these disciples will be sent to. And we see that mission beginning soon after in the book of Acts. Peter jumps into the water and rushes to shore ahead of the boat to meet Jesus. And when all the disciples arrive, Jesus invites them to sit down for breakfast and he serves them a meal of fish and bread. This meal may be another nod to the ministry that the disciples are called to in recalling the feeding of the 5,000. When Jesus fed the 5,000 with fish and bread, he gave the food to the disciples to actually distribute to the people. Jesus performed the miracle of multiplying the fish and bread, but the disciples got to participate in it. Immediately following this breakfast on the shore, feeding is used in another way as an analogy for ministry, as Jesus tells Peter, "Feed my sheep." The interaction with Peter is important because it's here that Jesus restores Peter to his ministry after Peter denied Jesus. It's easy to understand how Peter might be feeling after he denied Jesus. In the Synoptic Gospels, he begins to weep when he realizes what he's done. Despite Peter's earlier confidence that he would always stand by Jesus, he crumbled under the pressure. It's an understandable response, but here, Jesus demonstrates his grace to Peter. In contrast to Peter's 3 denials of Jesus, Jesus asks Peter 3 times, "Do you love me?" and instructs him, "Feed my sheep." Even the charcoal fire here may be part of this picture of restoration, recalling the charcoal fire that Peter warmed himself with as he was denying Jesus. As he did throughout his ministry, Jesus again uses a meal to minister to his followers and communicate the depths of his love. If you want to support these videos, click the like button and share this with some friends.